All right, good day to all of you. Our lesson for today is all about Module 6, which is entitled Going Global, Climate Phenomenon that Occur in Global Level. And the most essential learning competency for today's lesson is to describe certain climatic phenomena that occur in global level. So the expectations are the following. Number one, describe climatic phenomena that occur in global level. Number two, explain the role of increased carbon dioxide. Number three, differentiate the greenhouse effect from global warming. And number four, identify the sources of greenhouse gases and relate it to climate change. But before we begin with our lesson today, take a look at the following fixtures. This photo refers to the bushfire that happens in Australia. This one refers to the wildfires or forest fires. And the third fixture pertains to the melting of glaciers or ice caps in the coldest part of the planet. And this melting leads to the rising of sea level, ocean, and other bodies of water. Another photo pertains to the extreme weather condition. And we can notice that there is an early migration of birds or abnormal behavior of some animals. So these are the natural phenomena that we are experiencing nowadays. So the question is, why is it happening? Why are they happening? Flood comes into different level now. Aside from the forest fires, bush fires, migration, or melting of ice caps, flood is also one of the local environmental concern that we are facing now. And as we all know, flood can come into different level, and we all know the reason why. So climate change is one of the changes happening now in our planet, and that climate change is a huge concern all over the world. So why and how climate change happened? We are now in the verge of experiencing the effects of climate change. These changes bring also many global and local environmental problems. Some of these problems are drought, flood, extreme typhoon, changing weather pattern, forest fires, some abnormal behavior of animals, melting of ice caps which raises the sea level. So these problems has its main cause, which is the human activity, and others are due to human intervention. To learn more about climate change, its causes and effects, let's take a look at this. Global warming. As you notice, Earth's temperature is increasing yearly. When I say global warming, it is a gradual increase in Earth's temperature. And that increase in Earth's temperature is very noticeable nowadays. You can feel it, we can experience it. So it's getting hotter and hotter each year. And due to this increase in temperature, we can observe a lot of changes in our planet. But first of all, let us take a look at this diagram. This data came from NASA, and this graph shows the increase in temperature year by year. And as you can see here, the line graph is increasing, indicating that there is increase in the temperature of our planet. So what are the effects of this global warming? One of which is the melting of glaciers and coldest part of the earth. So, because of that melting of ice caps, sea level and other bodies of water will also increase. And because ocean, bodies of water, the sea, large lakes are all connected with one another all throughout the globe, several sea level will also increase. Aside from melting of polar ice caps that lead to rising of sea level, changing of weather pattern is another impact of climate change to the lives of humankind. That is the reason why we are experiencing extreme cyclone or typhoon like Ondoy, Ulysses, Sabagat, and many more. Ocean current may be changed as one of the effects of climate change. Forest fires, bushfires, and wildfires are also experienced by different countries due to global warming. Aside from those, drought is also one of the effects of the continuous heating of our planet. Drought is a period wherein the place experiencing the low level of precipitation or below or no or little rain only. And because of the continuous warming of the earth, some of our biodiversity is being destroyed, like the death of flora and fauna, or the destruction of some forests and other habitat of living things. Truly, global warming is a huge concern. It is one of the environmental problems that we are facing now. So the question here is why global warming happening and how does the greenhouse gases work? But before we proceed to the greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect, the word greenhouse here means a structure with a glass walls that is being utilized in growing of plants. So there is a positive impact here because greenhouse is being used to grow plants. So this is how the greenhouse looks like. Actually, the greenhouse effect is very significant to our planet because it sustains and maintains the temperature needed in our planet Earth. However, this temperature is much more higher now compared to what is needed by living things and planet itself. So the main question here is why? Why is there a gradual increase in the Earth's temperature? Maybe you are also wondering what are greenhouse gases? Or some questions are running into your mind like how does greenhouse works? So let me give you a simple demonstrations on how greenhouse works. Consider you put coins outside your house where the sun is shining so bright. What do you think will happen to the coin after few minutes? Of course, it will become hotter and hotter after several minutes. But how about if we cover the coins with a clear glass on the same place under the sun? What do you think will happen? How can you compare the temperature outside and inside part of the glass? For sure the coins will be hot, so it means that the temperature increases. And we can tell that the inside part of the glass is much more hotter compared to the outside simply because coins are covered with glass, which means that the heat is being trapped inside. The heat cannot escape due to the glass. That's why the temperature keeps on increasing. On the other hand, the glass is also protecting the coins from harmful radiation coming from the sun. This scenario can be compared to our planet Earth. The coins act as the planet, and the clear gas serve as the atmosphere covering the Earth. The atmosphere is protecting our planet from harmful radiation and direct sunlight, but it is also good because it warms the Earth. Sun's rays reach the surface of the earth and being absorbed by the soil and all other things on our planet. Naturally, sun's rays will be radiated back to the space. But data says that heat we receive from the sun cannot escape our planet. In short, the heat is being trapped here. It is being trapped in our planet. That is the reason why our planet keeps on increasing because the heat stays on our planet. So the question is, why? It's because of some gases that trap the heat and do not allow the gases to escape our planet. That is what we call greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse effect? It is the process wherein gases in the atmosphere trap the heat coming from the sun. That is the reason why global warming happens. There are so many gases present in our atmosphere that prevent the heat to escape from our planet. The result is the continuous increase in Earth's temperature. We can feel it, we can really experience it nowadays, much more in the future to come, if we will not take action now. So what are those greenhouse gases that trap the heat in our planet and preventing it to escape to outer space? These are the carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and the chlorofluorocarbon or CFC. All gases absorb heat, but some gases absorb more heat compared to others. The average temperature of the planet is dependent upon the mix of these gases present in the atmosphere. If there are more gases in the atmosphere, it means that the temperature will be higher. But if there are less amount of greenhouse gases present, it will result in lower temperature. So living on Earth, we should be in equilibrium or in balance, meaning there should be balance in the amount of temperature received by our planet. So that how greenhouse effect may take place. So the greenhouse effect happens like this. Some sunlight that hits the Earth is reflected and some of it becomes the heat energy. But carbon dioxide and other gases like methane, chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, and nitrous oxide in the atmosphere trap the heat. So it keeps the earth warm because the heat that should be reflected back to the outer space is being trapped here in our planet and cannot escape. And that is the reason why we have a sudden or gradual increase in the Earth's temperature yearly, and that is what we call global warming. As I was saying earlier, atmosphere protects us from direct sunlight, but there is no balance like if there is a greater amount of heat compared to what is needed. Global warming will occur. Are you wondering? Are you wondering now where are those greenhouse gases came from? Here I will give you the answers. What are the sources of greenhouse gases? Number one, or one of the main sources of these gases, are the smog coming from different vehicles like cars, trucks, motors, and many others. Considering the volume of vehicles we have here in our country, it's very hard to imagine the huge amount of greenhouse gases emitted by these vehicles. So another sources came from different factories, power plant establishment, buildings, and businesses that do emit large amount of gases into the atmosphere. We are so dependent in electricity nowadays, but you know that using electricity every day can also add to release gases into the air. We run our gadgets, different devices, and appliances through electricity, so we cannot deny the fact that each of us is guilty in contributing greenhouse gases to our planet. But we must admit also that we cannot live without electricity. We rely on electrical energy, most especially nowadays. And part of our lives every day is the utilization of different devices, gadgets, and appliances. But major contributor to this increase in the amount of greenhouse gases is the decrease in the amount of trees we have. This decrease is due to human activity like deforestation and kaingin system. What do you think now? Are you the victim or the suspect in this so-called global warming and climate change? Are you helping the planet to replenish its resources or you are just contributing more to the amount of greenhouse gases that harm our planet? On another way around, is there any way for us to renew and save our planet? What do you think? What did you contribute in making our planet look like this? How can you help? So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. So just see these references for future use and be able to answer your quiz in the form of an essay. So this is your quiz. Your quiz will look like this. Make an essay about the things you are doing or using that contribute to greenhouse gases and in what way you can help in saving our planet. Do this on your science notebook and please submit it on or before Friday this week. So that's all for today and I hope you learned something that you can use in our everyday living or you can apply in your daily life. That's all and have a nice day.